Probably John Deere owners. I'm just kidding. They're gonna say, how come you don't start the tractor up and drive it up there and hook up the splitter and pull it over there? Today on In the Woodyard, we're going to be moving my splitter. We're going to move it down to a little pile of wood I got over there that needs to be split. We're going to split it. Before I do that though, we're going to clean up the splitter so it works better. Here we go. Hey guys, it is a golden day today in the Woodyard. It's too bad you couldn't be here. If you're here for the first time, my name is Chris. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. Today is spectacular. That's the only word that I can use. For those of you that are in cubicles, sitting, staring at a computer or at paperwork, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your life sucks right now. Mine doesn't. It is a gorgeous day. This is as good as a day could be, I think. It's sunny. It's not even 60 degrees yet. There's a calm wind. Birds are singing. It's fantastic. For those of you who are sitting in cubicles, every once in a while, you know, during the day, I know I've worked in a cubicle before. You kind of look to see out the window to see if it's raining or sunny or windy or if there's any life outside, because all you can see is nothing. That's gotta suck. I get this. This is great. So anyway, we're gonna get to work. So my first job today is I'm gonna dig the few pieces out from around the base of the splitter here from yesterday. I was gonna move it last night, but I got other stuff I had to do, so I'm gonna get that dug out, swing it around, and then my little cart is right over there, my little dolly. I'm gonna use that. We're gonna pull it down over by some logs down the way that are laying there from a pickup truck load full of wood that was left over from a tree job that I did. We're gonna get that split up first. That's the first job. Gotta tell you, the dolly was a very, very good purchase. This is a very easy way to move it. The splitter around. Probably one of the better purchases I've made in a very long time. Now there's gonna be a tractor guy or 2 or 10. Probably John Deere owners. I'm just kidding. They're gonna say, how come you don't start the tractor up and drive it up there and hook up the splitter and pull it over there? Well, because I don't weigh 4,000 pounds and I'm capable of doing some manual labor is one reason. I actually don't mind working a little bit. The dolly was probably 10 times faster. I grabbed it, pried it up, pulled it out, pulled it down here. I did it with one hand. It's done. I'd have had to go back, start the tractor. First I had to go get my key, go over there, start the tractor, drive it over here. Would have had to put the ball on the back. I had to get the tractor just right, pull it out and back and forth and all over, and then unhook it. It's just a little manual labor is not going to kill a guy. It's actually good for you. So, just saying. Now I'm going to do something today a little different the way I normally do things, which for some of you, this will be really good because you've suggested this 1,000 times that I should split and stack at the same time. I'm actually going to do that today. Now normally when I split a truckload, I start at one end and I go to the other. It takes me 2, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever, splitting depending on how much time I get, and I just work my way through the pile. But today all I've got is this little bit of wood right over here, as you can see, just this little bit, and I'm going to be stacking it right there and right there. The splitter is right here. So I'm going to split it and then I'm going to put it into the stack immediately. I'm not just going to make a big pile and then pick it up and set it in there. So I'm going to split and stack at the same time, which I rarely do. I haven't done it in a long time. The other thing I'm going to do, because these are a bunch of big nasties for the most part, there's some limb wood in here, but there's also a lot of big chunks. This is from that big oak tree that I cut down, and there's a bunch of butt pieces, and this was the stump that I cut off. That was probably, I don't know, a long time ago, a 3 weeks ago, a long time ago. Anyway, I'm going to put my single wedge on. It's right here. So I'm going to pop off the 4-way and put the single on, because they are a bunch of butt pieces, or stump pieces I cut off. There's a bunch of crotch pieces in here, a bunch of you know, splits, things like that, that are going to be a little bit tougher. So I'm just going to use the single wedge, so I'm going to take it off. And the video that I had on where the wedge got stuck in here, there was a lot of good comments, and there was some people that suggested that I just take it off once in a while and clean it up. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Other people suggested I should be using some expensive graphite spray or something. I don't know. I'm going to keep using the oil. I know the oil collects dirt, it collects the dust. It does get down in between here, and apparently there was a memo sent out that I never got that you're supposed to pull it out every once in a while. But I have split with this splitter now a couple hundred full cords, and that's the first time I had any problems with it. It's worked flawlessly up until then. Oh, other than me breaking the handle off a couple times, but that was me. And it hasn't broken in a long time now that I fixed it with, you saw how I did it a while ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it off. It might be stuck in there a little bit, but now I know how to get it off. Just get a little bit of the dirt in there, because there's an opening right down in here that dirt goes down in. And after the wedge gets pushed back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, literally tens of thousands of times, you're going to get some grit and stuff that works its way in there. One of the big problems I had was that nail that went down in there, somehow got wedged down in the inside on one of these edges, and that nail was what was really holding it in there, along with all the grime that had built up. So I'm just going to, every once in a while, when I notice that, you know, I've split a lot, I'm just going to pop it off, clean it out, put it back in. That's what I'm going to do. That's the easiest thing to do, because my waste oil is free. It works great for lubricating. It's going to keep doing that, so it's going to clean it up every once in a while. So I'm going to pop this thing off right now. I already pulled the little pin on the other side. Oh, I see, it's loose. See, it's just that I originally had this thing on for so long. Ooh, it is heavy though. I got to get up on top of here just like I usually do. This is just the easiest way to do it, is to get right up here. Oh yeah, it's all caked on with gunk here yet. And I didn't pull hard enough to get it out here. I got it stuck again. There we go. Yeah, it's pulling lots of dirt out. Come on, come on. There we go. There we go. Yep, it's got a bunch of dirt. So I'm just gonna have to do that, you know, every truckload or so. Pull it out and clean it off, and then put it back in. And this one here, well, I'm gonna clean it out first. And this wedge here has a little button you can see right there, so it doesn't fall all the way through. And we're gonna clean this baby out. And I have a little screwdriver thing here that I keep out here. And what I use this for is when I'm splitting, a lot of times I go down in here and I clean out the debris that's building up on the inside. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of dirt in here. It's all caked on. That's like skin. And it's mainly like, it's like a compacted mud. And another guy had a comment that I should use some degreaser, like for bicycles used for degreasing. That is actually a very good idea. WD-40, another very good idea. But I don't have any bike degreaser, so I'm gonna go grab my WD-40 and I'm gonna squirt some in there and get a rag. We're gonna clean it up good right now. All right, I got some rags we're gonna clean debris off with. And this little screwdriver thing, as I call it, it's not a screwdriver. I got this from my father-in-law when he passed away. It's a specialty drive screwdriver. I don't know, it's like got slots. I've never seen anything like it. I imagine it's kind of a bow tie looking, and it must be for some special kind of a screw. Some of you will know, I don't know. Anyway, I don't have anything to use it for, so I use it for cleaning out in here because it's something to scrape with, basically. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of built up dusty looking stuff in here and kind of baked on, so I'm gonna squirt some WD-40, let it work its magic. Don't you just love WD-40? It's got to be one of the best things ever invented. And from what I hear, it's not even that big of a company, not a lot of employees because they're just so efficient at what they do. But they have a great product, that's for sure. And no, they're not sponsoring me for anything. I just like the stuff. I know there is a guy, I don't know who it is, somebody's got WD-40 as a sponsorship. I heard him talking about it. One of the tractor guys. You guys will know. Guy who has a lot of tractor videos. It's not Tim, it's one of the other guys. Anyway, this is cleaning up pretty nicely, actually. It's working fast. It's taking all the gunk off. There we go. Do your thing, Mr. 40. Oh, it's gonna be as squeaky clean as a newborn baby's behind. It's gonna be bright and shiny. Alright, that's pretty much all the dirt. It looks like I can see it's in there. It's gonna give this a whole nother level. The other thing that I probably would be smart to do, some of you probably are thinking this or are gonna tell me this, cake the crap out of that on the inside, just fill it with grease so nothing can get down in there, because this isn't a part that moves. I mean, it moves a little bit, it jiggles a little bit as you put pressure on it back and forth. It does have a little bit of a play, and that's why as it moves, it's just enough that it jiggles back and forth just enough over time that, you know, debris gets in there and sand. But if I cake that just full of grease, which is a good idea actually, nothing would go down in there. It would just be packed full. Maybe you have to give that a try. So, that's clean. This a little. Yes, I know, I should use a compressor. But you know where the compressor is? It's about 100 yards away in my building. I'm not gonna go get it. Just gonna drop this in and see how that just drops right to there, because it's got this button. I'll show you over here once the plane goes by. Right over here is the button on this side, so when you drop it in, it just stops right there. So all I gotta do is adjust it to the height I want it, and that's what we're gonna do next. And then put the pin in. Actually, I'm gonna clean the pin off. It looks like it's kind of nasty too. So there's a little bit of WD-40 on that. Yeah, WD-40 is awesome for a degreaser. Don't need any bike degreaser. Yeah, that works great. So let's see here. Got to kind of guess where the pin goes. I think I got to go up about 4 notches, it looks like. Yeah, I got to go right about there. First try. Second try, actually. Then it's in. And I put it up pretty much all the way because I'm going to be having some pretty thick pieces. They're going to be some big ones. So I'm going to back up here and put my goodies away. We're going to get splitting. So I thought while I had the wedge out here and the WD-40 out here and everything, the 4-way wedge, that I'd clean that up a little bit. You can see this is the height I have it at all the time here. And the reason I have it, as you can see here, I had it at this height right here, which was probably the top notch. I mean, the bottom one all the way down. Then I had it here, which is probably this notch. But the notch that works best is this one right here, because it gives me just about the right size for the pieces of wood that I want to end up with. I've tried higher once or twice, and even higher yet, and it's just so big. So this is the size that for me seems to work the best, which is basically in the middle. There's 3 below and 2 above. It's almost the middle. And so yeah, I use that all the time. And we're just gonna clean off the goodies here. I suppose I should have cleaned this off first. There, the dirt is off. Throw a little shot of that on there just because I like to squirt. Jeez, it almost got me. Slid off the edge of the table there. Yeah, right, see this opening right here, because this is where the wedge sits in here. So you got this space right here, so that fills with dirt, and then it works its way down in here, and this whole front edge you can see right here. See, this is caked on here. So that's where it all gets caked in there. So I'm gonna give her a little bit of the good stuff. There we go. It's gonna get loud. There's a jet coming right now. Just a little guy. There we go. I suppose I should do the back side here. Oh yeah, actually, that's got a little crustiness on it. Yeah, it's just like mud. There we go. And this side. Yeah, it's pretty clean. There we go, done. I just thought of something else that I get asked all the time on the channel about the wedges. For people that I don't think they own a splitter maybe, or split a lot of wood, they just are beginners, people that are starting out. The question is how often do I sharpen my splitting wedge or my splitting mauls? The answer is never. This is how the wedge came to me. I don't know if you can see. It's actually got a dull edge on the front of it. And my 4-way, which is laying right over there now, is actually sharper now than when I first bought it, or first got it. I'm gonna walk over there and show you. I'm gonna tip it down because I've had so much wood go through it that it's actually, I don't know, it's getting polished. Just gonna tip it over here so you can see it. So here's the 4-way, and if you look at that close, you can see it's not sharp at all. I mean, you're not gonna get cutting over here. You look on this side, I mean, that's at least a 1/16 of an inch there, and down here too a 1/16 of an inch. But it's actually getting sharper right in here from where the wood's going through it there. But you can see the polish on there that I'm starting to get from spinning it around here, from running so much wood through it. Well, when you run a couple hundred cords through it, it's got a nice sheen to it. It's almost like a mirror. So, but yeah, you can see here. See how flat that is? It's got a very unsharp edge on it. The only time I would do anything to it is if I ran like into a big nail or spike or like a tree step or something accidentally in the wedge as I was pushing wood through it, and you would get a big gouge. Maybe then you would, you might get a big nick in it or something. Like right there's a little one. You might file that off or something, or grind it a little bit, but no, you don't sharpen them. But it's ready to go, and I'm going to do some splitting and stacking now. the pile is split. And you saw I stacked this stuff right as I split it. I gave up real fast on this here, and the reason I did is because I had to go through this opening here and I had to kind of do the sideways step thing. I couldn't just walk in and set it. It was just a pain. It was super slow, so I just started throwing the pieces. I'll stack it right now though. That's gonna be the next thing I'm gonna do. But yeah, these were all nasty pieces, and I'm really glad I put the single wedge on, because here is the trash, the chunks, the stuff that, you know, just odd size, shorties and just the bad stuff. So that's gonna go back in the cookie crib. And so I'm gonna get this stacked right now. After I get this stacked, then I'm gonna start the tractor up finally today. Drive it over here. I'm gonna put all this stuff in there. That's probably, I don't know, it's probably not a bucket full, but I'll do that. And as soon as I have the tractor started, then I'm gonna drive over here. And I threw out all, or 99% of all of the cookies and pieces for when I split this cherry. So I'll pick through all this right here, and there's a bunch right here. There's probably only about a bucket full, because I already took a whole bunch back there. So I'm gonna do that too. So I'm gonna get the stacking right now. The wood is stacked. I raked up a little bit of debris here, and right there's the chunks. So it is now time to go get the big orange wheelbarrow and fill it with chunks and dump or throw what I can. I don't know how much I can dump in there. It's pretty full already, but take them back there and we'll get them in there, and I'm gonna get the rest of the cookies over here. So here comes the big orange guy. So there, I got to play on the tractor for a little bit. Now I got to go do some work in the other business. But I did get to do a couple buckets of dirt there, just kind of played a little bit and leveled that off, filled kind of some low spots, and I want to do a lot more of that. And now would be a good time to do it because the ground is a little softer because of all the rain we had. So tomorrow I'm going to do a lot of tractor stuff. I plan on digging a whole bunch, filling in a whole bunch of that over there tomorrow. Is my gonna be a fun day. And I got all this split and cleaned up right here, got the splitter put away. So today was a good day. That was fun. Tomorrow come back because it's going to be tractor day tomorrow for sure, or more tractor, lots more tractor. That's the plan anyway. Between now and tomorrow, get outside, get cutting. Good night, Irene.